Hello and welcome to this lecture. And in this lecture, we are going to go ahead and learn about the fundamental problem with our website right over here. So we are going to discuss about how to raise a 404 error, but even before learning how to raise 404 error, let's first understand what exact problem we are facing in our website. So if you click on the first photo, as you could see, we get redirected to the first page, which is for photo 1. When you go ahead and click on photo 2, you get redirected to the photo two's detail page, and same is the case with photo 3 as well. So right now we only have 3 photos or 3 images in our website, and henceforth we get the details of those pages. And to basically go to a particular photo, you just type in the URL photos and then just give a digit over here. So the problem with this approach is that if you actually go ahead and replace this with 4, as you could see, it's going to say that this is the page for photo 4. But in reality, in our website, we only have these 3 photos here and we don't have any fourth photo right over here. So what will happen is that if a user actually goes ahead and even if he requests for photo number 100, he's still going to get this particular page, even though the photo number 100 does not exist in our database. So in order to avoid this potential problem, what we have to do is that whenever a user requests an invalid photo, that is, if he requests a photo which is not actually present in the database, we need to raise a 404 error. That is, the user should get the 404 error page instead of getting this kinds of details over here. So in order to do that, what we will do is that we will first go to the views.py file right over here, and here first we will import the HTTP 404. So we'll type in from django.http, that should be http import, that's going to be http 404. So once we have imported this error, we are actually good to go. So now once we have added this, we are good to go. So now what we will do is that we will create a different template for the detail view as well. So for example, if you could have a look at our details page, as you could see, this is just a static content. We have just passed in the ID over here, and it does not actually display the details of that particular photo. But let's say, for example, if you want to extract the details from the database of each and every individual photo, then you actually have to create a template. Just we have created a template for the index view. So in order to create that template, what we will do is that we'll just go to the templates directory, and in the photo app directory, let's create a new file which is going to be called as detail.html. So once we have this file with us, we could now go ahead, start writing some code into it. So this is going to be an HTML file, and obviously we do now need to have a view for this. So we already have a view for the detail, but the thing is now we need to modify this. So I'm just going to delete everything from the detail view, and now let's go ahead and start writing the detail view. So first of all, what we will do is that we will go ahead and try to get the data from the database. So what we will do is that we will go ahead and request all the photo objects. So we will type in photo dot objects, and instead of getting all the photos, we want to get the photo whose ID matches up with the photo ID which we are passing, and we are going to store this list into the variable which is called as photo. So now this photo list actually has all the photos. Okay, so once we do that, we also need to catch an exception that if the photo does not exist, then it needs to raise a 404 error. So we'll type in except, and that's going to be photo dot does not exist. So what this is going to do is that whenever it finds that if a particular photo does not exist, it's actually going to raise a 404 error. So we will type in here raise http 404, and let's say this gives out some message like a photo not found. Okay, so once we are done with this, we are basically good to go. So now once we are done with the try and accept block, let's go ahead and render. Let's go ahead and render the template which we have just created. So we'll type in return, that's going to be render, and render is obviously going to take the request. Along with the request, we also need to pass in the name of the template, which is photo app slash detail.html, and also we need to pass in the context. So instead of creating a separate context here like this, we could just go ahead and pass in the context as photo colon photo. So once we do that, we are good to go. Now we just need to go ahead, go into the detail, and for now we are just going to display the photo over here, and we are not going to extract all the details. Okay, so once this thing is done, we should be good. So just make sure that your server is up and running and you don't have any errors. So now let's open up this page, which is photos, hit enter. As you could see, we have a bunch of lists as we used to have previously, but now if you click on the first photo, I guess it gave us an error. So let me actually just go ahead. Okay, so we actually were facing an error because we have misinterpreted this sign. This should actually be the assignment sign and not for actual checking if this thing is equal to this. So basically we take this photo ID and assign it over here so that we should be able to find the object which is related to this particular photo ID. So once you correct that, save this code, and when you go back to your browser, as you could see when you click on the first link, now instead of getting something like ID over here, now we get details of that individual page. So if you click on nature, you will get the nature object. If you click on new photo, you will get the new photo object. So now if you try to go ahead and basically type in the ID which does not exist, so photo number 4 does not exist. So now if you go ahead, hit enter, as you could see, you will get a 404 error over here which says page not found, and here you have a message which says photo not found. So this is how you actually go ahead and raise a 404 error. And we have also learned how to create a view for the detail view right over here. So we simply went ahead, extracted all the objects from the photo model, and if the object does not exist, then we raise a 404 error, and then we have simply rendered the detail.html template which we have created just right here. So that's it for this lecture, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.